Okay, everyone. This is the introduction to probably the weirdest project that we are about to take on. So, as most of you probably know from Cletus's Corvette Leroy, every single body panel on this car just unbolts, and then it's basically a functional structural frame that you can drive. It's wonderful. So, we're going to do the same thing minus the Leroy part. We're taking everything off of this vet, and then it's hard to tell what it is, but this is a Jeep Wrangler tub. I'll have a better angle on that later. So basically, we're going to take everything off of that and put that on top of it. And we just got this last night, and it runs and drives. So we're gonna start right away. So I'm getting ready to rip it apart. I just wanted to show you guys literally everything is just bolt, like the whole quarter panel is just bolted on. Obviously the bumper is, but everything just unbolts on this thing. It's wonderful. So I'm gonna get ready to, I got some people that want parts for it, so I'm gonna start ripping it apart, and hopefully by tonight it'll look like a go-kart. Okay, so just want to give you guys an update of where we're at. Got the back, everything off. I have all the body panels off. All I have to do is get the inner fenders, which unbolt, and then I think there's a couple spots that are panel bonded. And then the windshield, so I take those two bolts, those, and then same thing on the other side, and this whole windshield assembly should come out. Then I'm gonna cut that off entirely and then trim off. There's a bunch of, so if you see here, this piece is not part of the frame. The frame is this right here. So this is just extra metal for what I'm assuming is just, you know, to mold the body on and help out with some extra structure. So I can take all that off, and then I have to finish hacking away the side skirts because they're just pretty much glued on the car. And then we can start test fitting the body. So the biggest concern I have right now, from all the Googling measurements I did, I didn't find this. So from here to the floor, or to the other side, is 60 even, almost dead on. Okay, back here, fine, no problem. Up there, no problem. Well, this, I assumed a lot of the bulk right here was from the side skirt, but the frame actually sticks out a lot. So from here to the other side of the frame is 63 inches. So that's 3 inches wider than what the Jeep tub is. So we have a couple ideas. One of them includes cutting the Jeep directly in half down the center and making it wider, which I don't want to do at all. Okay, so got the windshield off, got the roof support off. Got the inner fenders off, and the lane part that I did not know, never even would have thought to check this, the firewall on these vets is fiberglass. So this part I can take off, but it's panel bonded to this, which is a part of the firewall. So that's gonna be a giant pain in the butt. And then this brake booster sticks out way further than it should, because the actual firewall is like here-ish, but there's a big metal bracket that goes all the way to it. So that's gonna stick past the Jeep firewall, obviously, like a lot. Still haven't really made up my mind about what we're gonna do down here. I just have to think about it more. I have no idea. Still have to cut all that nonsense off, but now there's no turning back. It is 100% done as a Corvette. Okay, so we're at the point now where most of the junk is cut off. The firewall is cleaned up. Heater core's out. I still have to trim that side a little bit. Those were really funky to cut. all this back here is all trimmed the way I want it. So now we're ready to start cutting this up. So roughly from here to there is where the vet dash and firewall is going to fit inside after all that crap's taken out. So now what I'm doing back here is the super boring long process of drilling out all these spot welds. So this whole floor can come out nicely, and then I can raise it probably about 4 or 5 inches. Also, we found a stock roll bar that fits in here, so I'm going to take these off because I don't need those. And then the seat belts actually mount onto this, which is going to save a lot of time. So I got a tailgate, windshield, so we have almost everything we need now. Now it's just a matter of trimming this and trying to make it fit. So I'm going to get the floor out, then we cut that out. Started cutting this line. We're going to follow that all the way along there, and then we're going to set the whole thing on it, test fit it, and just look at it. Okay, so evidently I have to widen it by about 4 inches, so I can think of a better way to do it. So the same guy that sold me the roll bar and the windshield had this hanging out, so I had to go by this, and this side is the side on mine that is wrecked, and it's straight on here. So I'm using this half of the Jeep completely, and then I'm using center cutouts of the floor and the dash to make the 4-inch gap fill, and then tailgate and this rear piece. So I have all of this cut all the way down where I want it, except for right here. So that's what I'm getting ready to do. I have no one here to help me, and I think it's gonna fall, so I'm gonna try and like strap it to something so it's kind of floating, and then when it all breaks, it just kind of stays floating. So I'm gonna try and do that. I am gonna film this because it could be bad, and you'll probably want to see it. Now everything is off, I think. What? One more. Okay, so now I'm gonna try and carry that without bending it over here, and just kind of, I'm gonna try to set it on it. I have no idea how this is gonna work, but I want to see what it looks like, so I'm gonna give it a shot. Okay, all you missed in the last 2 hours was me putting the body on, taking it off, cutting, putting it on, cutting, back and forth for 2 hours. It wasn't expected. And I'm tired now. But it's kind of on. So this is going to work out perfectly once I get rid of this down here, so this sits more flush. This will just fit right over that. I'll hammer it down a little bit, tack it, cool. I had to cut, let's see, I'll show you from this. I had to cut pretty much the entire wheel well out to clear this nonsense and to come to here, because this is going to come in probably almost right to that. But that's going to be cool, because then the rest of the bed will just be flush with the top of this, which is kind of what I had in my head. I just didn't think it was going to work. So that's that. So I cut the rear of the frame off, which I kind of planned on doing. I could probably cut a little more. I just have to stay in front of those welds and then plate those, and then that's something else we could weld to. So I'm going to weld the tailgate to this and to this, so it'll all be one piece, because I took, and this thing is like a floppy, I don't know, it's like a piece of paper. Like, I took almost all of the structure out of it. Up here I have to cut, where's that? So there's a little support bar right here that's preventing it from going down a little bit, so it's a little uneven. It's touching here. It's not touching here. So I'm gonna cut that out, and then that'll set that down. And that's pretty much good. I'm gonna try and put back some of the pieces that I cut off to try and make it look like a complete Jeep firewall, but we'll see how much time I have. The wheel well is gonna be way off center, but without extending the body, and I'm definitely not gonna do that. It might look kind of goofy, but the plan is to have a big tire, so you're not gonna see this back half, and you shouldn't see the center line. So you're just gonna see a random opening right here, and it shouldn't look as goofy as it does. If you can picture, like looking at that, it looks goofy, but with a big wheel over it hiding half of it, you're only gonna see one half, so it shouldn't look that bad. But I can't believe that. That was a lot of cutting, that was a lot of work, but man, once the bed's on and the other side's on, man, that blows my mind. So that's where we're at. That's where I'm stopping for tonight. I have to hydrate it a couple parts. Tomorrow's 4th of July, so I don't have any time to work tomorrow. So that's all I'm doing for tonight. I'm pumped. I have 0 room in the shop. I still have to put that somewhere. The bug is outside, so it's gonna be tight, but look at that's insane. I'm so happy. That blows my mind. Okay, so basically I haven't filmed anything in like 2 days, and all you have missed is a tremendous amount of cutting and thinking and shopping and Googling and eBay, and that's it. I've been brainstorming because I was trying to get the tub to clear the wheel, and the frame stuck out too much. So it sticks out probably about almost an inch more right here than it did up here. So what I did is I cut that off. I took about 1.5 inches off of here, and then I'm gonna weld it back on. And now the wheel, it's not straight. There's one more little corner I gotta push in. But now the wheel will clear the tub. So imagine this being about there, or pretty much where that is. That's gonna be the clearance I have. So it's close, but it'll work. Also decided to extend it kind of by accident because I didn't think this was gonna work. So I was gonna put the wheel underneath the fender, so I needed this to be center. Well, then I went and bought these, realized they're gonna fit with some extra work there. And so it turns out now I didn't have to extend it, but it's obviously too late to do that. I mean, I could weld it back on, but if it's already cut in half, I might as well just cut a section out of right there and throw it on there. But so that's where I'm at. It clears. That was the biggest battle. So I got 5 of these. They're just discount tire Jeep wheels. So I got to buy lug adapters. I cut all the lugs off of this except one, just so I can mount it, because this already had spacers with lugs on it. So that's where we're at. Okay, I don't know where we left off. It's like 100 degrees in the shop. I'm cutting the frame on the other side and putting it in about 2 inches. Got the rest of the red Jeep tub all cut. I don't know where we left off, so I'm gonna show you where we're at now. So I'm not gonna use this bed because I didn't cut it straight, and that one I drilled all the spot welds out of. So that one will be nice and straight. Got tires for it that are nice and tall. That's what I wanted. So the rest of the Jeep is all cut up everywhere. So I got this cut off and shoved back in there, so I'm getting ready to clean it up and then weld it. I have not made up my mind on what we're gonna do here. One option is to drill a hole in that piece and have this sit nicely, but if I mess that up, there's really no turning back. So I'm thinking about cutting it right here and then taking this and flipping it like such pretty much, and then I'm just gonna stick it back here. Let's see, so I got the wheels were all curb rashed, so I figured if I'm gonna smooth it out and paint them, I might as well hydro dip them. So the wheels are done. They need wet sanding, but I don't have time, so yeah, those are done. So I'm getting tires mounted tomorrow or Thursday. Today is Tuesday. Figured out how the roll bar is going to go in. I'm going to shorten it to about here, and then I'm going to cut these off and bring them in the middle, because they're supposed to mount right here, but there's going to be no structure here. But if I can get them right here, this is right below, this is the frame of the Corvette. So that would be the most structural point for those. I have to go get Corvette exhaust. Then what else am I getting? Oh yeah, like 70s CJ Jeep grill. Okay, so I gotta go buy those. I'm leaving for those at 7. So the plan for tonight is to have the body at least like squared and tacked. There's so much of this has just been like, yeah, like it's so hard to have a game plan. That's my game plan for today. God knows if it'll happen. That's what I'm shooting for. So, you're so lucky you're not here. It's so hot. Okay, so it is Wednesday night. Mina was here to help me for a little bit. So we got the rear of the Jeep, or at least the two sides on the rear are tacked on, and they're as straight as we could get them with a level and eyeball in it. And then I got rid of the rat's nest of wiring that was right there, and I shoved it all in there. So that's temporary. I'll mount it and make it look nice. But so that got rid of all that. Just have fuse box terminals and battery terminals. So that's the rear. It's on. It's not coming off. I gotta weld it more, but that's where it's permanently gonna sit. So that should clear nicely. Gotta just add a little filler piece and pull this out so it's straight. And then this is actually narrower by half an inch than the stock bed over there. So I got to trim that, which is good because I cut it crooked. So now I can draw a straight line. So that's next back here. And then I'm going to trim. So the front pieces are curved. So it's hitting right here. So I'm going to trim this down to about here at like an angle. And then this should sit better. And then I'll tack that on. And then see how the space looks. Cut a piece off the white Jeep. Space it out. And then once everything's tacked in place, then I can just go to town and weld it, and it's good to go. I don't know if I said anything about the CJ grill I got, so I'm not really sure what's going to happen up here. I'm thinking cut there, move this back. Then the CJ grill actually sits in between this groove, so I'll mess with that later. But so we're getting close. Oh yeah, the rear bumper piece I welded back on. I shortened it, so this is only 6 inches. Before it was, well, that was the piece I took off. So that's where I'm at right now. It is 2:30 in the morning. I have to be up at 8 to go help the family at the appliance business. So tomorrow is going to be awful, but I'm going to try and get this all done up here, so that way tomorrow's pretty much just grinding, sanding. This front part won't be too bad. Getting tires mounted tomorrow. These are those guys. So yeah, that's where we're at. Okay, so today's Friday. We got invited to a small group of guys for like a 1320, like the real 1320, just like a private meet to go race around. I'm not going to race this, but I really want to go. Yesterday I kind of gave up. Spacers didn't show up. A lot has happened in 24 hours. I got a set of wheels. They're not going to work how I wanted to because the other ones, the spacers didn't come in. But I got tires mounted. Yay, they look great. Cool, they don't fit. So I got those for free that I don't need to use adapters for. So now I have to cut this wheel well out to about there. So those will tuck. So that's that. This front is welded on both sides. I gotta figure out what's going on in the middle, and then I'll make that piece level. I'm drilling out a piece in the center of this. I'm drilling out all these spot welds, and then that'll go down, and then this will sit flush. Got those ugly squares cut out for those bolts. So that's where I'm at. Haven't touched the front. Got the ABS deleted. None of that's tight. So yeah, it's 5:30, and I'm trying to make it to the meet tonight. So just wanted to give you a quick update. I haven't had any time to film. That's where we're at. That's what I'm doing. Wish me luck. Okay, it's 2 in the morning. Mina's here helping. We got the entire front all ready to go. And then now he's extending out 2 wires because Napa sucks.
They sure do.
The body is on-ish. It's ugly, but that's what we're gonna roll with. And then, so we started cutting this out to clear the wheels that we got. And that's there, so now gotta cut the center and then cut there, pull it up so it'll clear. Tailgate's on. Everything's on now, it's just all the little crap that we didn't think about. Front wheels are on. So that's where we're at. Probably have another 2 hours. We still haven't even touched the roll bar. Windshield's not going on because it's way taller than we thought it was. Brakes are bled. Everything's, he's doing O2, so we gotta throw the exhaust on.
I'll definitely drive it tonight.
Yep, we're gonna drive it tonight because I've never driven anything like this before, so I need to get used to it before we race tomorrow on 2 hours of sleep. So that's where we're at.
Okay. Yeah. so much fun.
Okay, I apologize. I didn't film as much of this as I wanted to. So today's Sunday, so the event's over. Friday I got here at about 11. I think I took a video that you just watched, just about where we're at. So I got here at 11, worked all through the night, and then worked all through that day. We didn't make it to Bandamere until about 3:30 or 4. So by the time I got home and was able to lay down and fall asleep, it was like 36, 37 hours I was up straight. So obviously we were working way too much, way too fast on too little sleep and no food to even think about filming. So I apologize. So here is what the shop looks like after 36 hours of working and no cleaning and just kicking stuff everywhere to just get it done. There's just crap all over the place. But it's done. We drove it to Bandamere. So it's not done, but it's complete. It's one piece. I got to raise the back. We raised the back, but it seemed to have dropped, so I got to figure out what's going on there. A lot of these welds I'm going to grind down and redo. Not really happy with it down there. Yeah, we drove it. I can't, 3 weeks from buying the Vette to here. I can't believe it. It runs like crap. It misfires like you would not believe. So we just babied it there, and it was still, let me open the door, I'll get a better front view. It was still the funnest thing in the world to drive. So what I'm thinking is, this front looks kind of long. So, I mean, this, if we cut this out, I think we can squeeze the radiator in it. And then we could probably move the radiator back to about there, just see if we can push these lines in like that. So it should be able to get the grill to sit about here, which should make it look a little more stubby like a Jeep. But yeah, we finished it. It's done. I'll throw some, we got a couple little burnout launch videos that we did. It is just a blast to drive. We got these taillights at AutoZone for $7 a piece. As you can see, there's a tremendous amount I have to do. I do not like these. Like, I wanted this to look like, a $20,000 Roadster. So there's a lot that I have to do, that I have to go back and, like, I'll probably cut this out completely and just actually do a nice little fender well. Obviously I have to grind down all the welds. I'm pretty sure, I think this part here sticks out a little more, like the angle's a little off, so I'll probably cut these out, straighten it nice, and then I want to build the firewall back. So I'm going to take all the random, I don't even know where they are, all the random scrap pieces of the Jeep that we've cut, and just kind of cut them out like a puzzle piece and just build it back so it actually looks like the Jeep has a firewall. Because the goal with this was to make it look like we swapped the Jeep, not make it look like we put a Jeep on a Corvette. So, I mean, overall, I think it's about 90, or no, not 90, it's like 70% there. But, so with a couple more things, but now we can take our time, I can breathe, I can do this when I'm done with my other work, because I'm behind and broke now, because we took so much time to just knock this out. But, we did it. I hate the air intake, looks like a unicorn, but it's what we had. I can't believe we did it. I had some really good friends that came and helped, and poor Mina, I think he was up longer than I was maybe not longer, but he was up earlier than I was that day. So by the time we left for Bandmere, he felt awful and he went home. But I mean, I even got temp tags for it. It's even registered. It's unbelievable. People are eating it up. Everyone loves it, and I couldn't be more proud. Yesterday I was on cloud 9 when we were driving this thing. So that'll probably be the end of this video, and then the next one we'll clean it up and kind of get it where it needs to be. I'm gonna clean everything in this shop. There's stuff just everywhere. There's the other pieces. I'm gonna use the firewall, or used to make the firewall. There is just, I mean, unbelievable. There's Taco Bell from a day ago. I didn't even eat that. So I'm gonna clean. That's the end of this video. Thanks for watching. We're trying to do this for you guys. We're trying to make the YouTube channel cool. If you guys like this, please share it. I mean, the hydro dipping is good. I really want this to take off. I'd really like to build more of these. And that all just depends on how much you guys enjoy it and share it. So thanks for watching. We're doing way more stuff like this. Unbelievable.